Hello good people. Today I will be ranking every survivor within the support category to figure out who is the best support. Now for this ranking I'll be focusing on three things. How well they can support the team, how well they can survive, and their stats. By the way, I'm ranking them based on that the player playing knows how to use the perk decently and also loop like the average player. Remember that all that is said in this video is my opinion. You're free to criticize them, but don't take it as a fact. Number 15 is Dejing. Dejing somehow manages to be a very selfish character, even if he's in the support category, which is kinda impressive to be honest. His perk is very mediocre and doesn't do anything of value until later on in the round. And even after that, reviving quickly isn't that important. His stats are also pretty bad, so the only thing he's got going for him are his chase stats, with that atrocious 9 stamina he's got. He has good survivability, but that comes at the cost of not having good stats, nor a good perk at all. Number 14 is Tabitha. The good thing about Tabitha is that she completely counters Unforgotten's passive ability. But other than that, her ability just shows wherever a survivor is when someone gets downed, which isn't very useful. To be fair, when she does get a safe revive, she does get to see where the killer is for a small period, but again, that's not really that useful if it's for a small period and it doesn't even happen frequently. She also has another ability. Whenever someone gets downed, her stealth gets greatly improved for 16 seconds. So this could be useful in chase, but your killer can't really kill someone and also be in chase with you. Number 13 is Kelvin. To be honest, I really like Kelvin. It may just be that I love any character that has a gun, but I really like Kelvin. His ability is pretty mid. It really only detects the killer and does a small slow if it hits it directly, but it has a small cooldown. He has 6-7 looping stats, which is pretty manageable. His stats are also pretty good. So the reason that he's so low is that he doesn't really do a lot to support. I would say that Kelvin is a very good survivor, but not a super good support. Number 12 is a rather new survivor, Barrett. Her ability is pretty bad. It's very similar to Dante and Millisent's abilities. Basically, you place down a drone, which does stand still by the way, and any downed survivor within a small radius of it gets healed pretty slowly. With it being worse than Dante, because it doesn't give any of Dante's perks, like a speed boost, or revealing where they are to the rest of the survivors. And it's worse than Millisent, because you can't walk away and let the drone heal without losing it. It's basically just a hybrid between the two, and isn't really good in any way. She's a really mid and boring support survivor, and I wish I would do more creative stuff with her perk. I put Arlo at 11, which might be surprising to a lot of people, but to be honest, healing quickly isn't a really useful thing to have. The only times you will need to heal someone quickly is when the killer is camping, or if your whole team's been wiped out except for one person and then they get down too. Anything else is just a convenience for you and your team. He's also a victim of targeting because of his strong and annoying ability. Number 10 might be a little controversial, but I think that it is Millisent. Millisent has a good ability and top-notch stats, but the side effects of that is that she has the worst looping stats and general survivability in the whole game. That makes her a huge target to the killer, since she has a useful healing ability and she also has 9 repair speed, which means she doubles as a gen rusher. She has good stealth, but all that is just more of a reason to kill Millicent off early in the round. I do think that Millicent can greatly benefit the team if she manages to stay alive. Number 9 is Serena. Serena is similar to Tabitha because she's only good against 1 or 2 killers. But the reason she's so much higher than Tabitha is that the perk actually has use outside of countering Ghost and Stalker. When the killer either downs or kills someone, they leave behind a trail stunners or support survivors can use to track down them to help any survivor in need. Additionally, she has a lot of smaller detections like detection if the killer kicks a gen and other stuff like that. So she's basically Yona on top of her normal perk. In these tier lists, people usually place Serena very low, which I don't really get, because her perk isn't bad. I didn't place her super high, I'll admit that, but she's not one of the worst support survivors. Evelyn is a very good support character because when she revives someone, she not only makes them undetectable, but she also gives them an extra 1.5 repair stats for 60 seconds. Now that might sound useless, but see here. If I take little Arlo here with 6 repair stats and revive him, he now has 7.5 repair stats. That's a full-blown generator right there. You might think her 6-6 looping stats result in her dying a lot, but that's actually not the case here. Since first of all, she gets a lot of undetectability while reviving, and surprisingly, there's a lot of players, especially new ones, that doesn't even know that Evelyn has bad chase stats. Embarrassingly enough, I didn't even know until it was level 700 or something. Number 7 is Dakari. Dakari's ability to heal people with long ranges and very quickly deal with camping is what has gotten him so far up on the rankings. The reason he's so much higher than Arlo is that instead of healing quickly, he can heal instantly. The best thing is that because you get 2 bullets for finishing a generator, you really only have to complete 2 to 3 gens to be set for the round. Though he isn't getting any higher up on his list because of the same reason Arlo and Dejing isn't. At number 6 we have Callum. Callum can mark a survivor by clicking on the portrait, and then he and the marked teammate gets a passive 15% more stamina regen and 20 more max stamina. When he activates his ability, he and the survivor he's marked gets 25 stamina. The best part is that he can actually see how much stamina his marked teammate has. This is a very good ability, and even if you're only able to mark one survivor, remember that in a normal round, you're not really gonna have that many survivors that are bad at chase. At number 5 is Elijah. Elijah is a very annoying survivor because he can very easily stun the killer for a long time, and his ability cooldown is still very short. I mean, a 45-second cooldown to stun the killer for 5 whole seconds. The downside is that you actually need some intelligent teammates, which you don't always get, trust me. And you also rely on a good map, which you also don't always get. His stats are also a little mediocre, and the skilled Elijah will most likely be targeted. Number 4 is Iris. I personally think Iris has the best ability in the game right now. The thing with that is that it leads to her being targeted a lot. I actually think Iris might be the survivor that gets targeted the most. There's no statistics of that, but I'm just taking a guess here. Her 6-6 looping stats makes her even more prone to death in general. Her other stats are also mids, but that's to be expected when you have such a good ability. Number 3 is Emil. If you don't know what Emil does, to put it simply, he's basically Nathan but with better stats. Now, I did lie a little bit when saying that because he does rely on revives to activate his ability. Specifically, he needs 2 revives to activate Inspire, but he starts the round with 1 stack. When he's at 2 stacks, he gets a bonus move speed, and if he takes a protection hit, he will immediately gain the stack back so that he only has to revive 1 person. Emil does take a bit of skill. If you've ever used Nathan and you just suck with him, or even if you just miss a few, you either gotta step up your game, or you're unfortunately not gonna be able to play Emil. At number 2, we have Dante. Dante's lantern has so many different uses, it's insane. He can place it near a gen he's working on to signal other survivors that he's there. He can place it down to heal people quicker. He can support himself in chase. And a lot more. On top of that, he actually has quite decent stats, with 6 repair speed and 9 healing, and kinda mid stealth stats. Survivability is quite high, since he has 5 speed and 7 stamina, which is good, and it's not very likely that you get targeted with Dante, unless you're really annoying. This is an overall amazing kit, with him having good healing benefits, good chase benefits, and good generation benefits. As many of you would guess, the number 1 support character, in my opinion, would be Lyndon. Where can I even start with Lyndon? Alright, Lyndon can look at a survivor or click their portrait and activate his ability, Roam, to give them a short period of maybe 1 to 2 seconds where they are invincible. and if the killer attacks them within that period, they are slowed. And the person that got saved is given a speed boost. And Lyndon's cooldown is halved. Lyndon already has a 60-second cooldown, which is short enough, but a 30-second cooldown is even better. One of the more bad things about Lyndon is that he does get targeted a lot, but that's actually okay, because he has 8 speed and 7 stamina. I would say that Lyndon's stats suck, but they don't. They do, but they don't. You see, they're focused on the aspects Lyndon needs, like his chase stats and healing. All of that added up is what makes him the #1 support survivor. What did you think about this list? Was it good? Was it bad? Were you unhappy with the ranking of certain characters? Comment down below. Also, please subscribe, because even if I may have some terrible takes sometimes, I still spend a lot of my own time making these videos. Have a good rest of your day or night, and I'll see you next time.